Next up on the list. To be honest, I despise this match in different ways. I don't despise this match on a performance level, and I don't even despise this match on like a fact that like, you know, as an old time wrestler, you got to do what you got to do to get the young guys over. And I'm sure that AJ Styles got taken care of. You know what I mean? But AJ Styles versus Logan Paul, an abomination in my eyes. You know, first of all,
I forgot it was on the card until I saw the Karrion Kross promo. First of all, oh shit, AJ Styles was at Mania. I forgot.
Yeah, right. Shit. I will say, I will admit the bias now. I never liked Logan Paul before he ever started wrestling. I knew him as a guy who did the Japan Forest, who scammed a bunch of people out of their money, who was a sociopathic, whatever. So I already don't like him. But I'm going to try to do this without even mentioning the content of his character. AJ Styles got dominated the entire match. AJ fucking Styles. Like what, a decade and a half in the Indies, 10 years WWE, multiple belts. And he got dominated in this match for almost the entirety of it. I have no idea why they thought this made sense against one of the fucking greats, you know? Logan Paul should be winning by the skin of his teeth. That's it. That's how it should be happening. When this kind of match, that's how you put him over. By the skin of his teeth, but he fought well and he won, you know?
And the thing is, like, I didn't watch the match, but hearing that AJ Styles got dominated the entire time, on
Like
paper, I feel like
85%.
I feel like on paper, AJ Styles versus Logan Paul should be a really fun match.
Yeah.
You know, they're both high flyers,
Like
both
Ricochet and
skilled
Logan
athletes.
when they hit each other, right?
Yeah,
Like, it
exactly.
should be that
like
level.
You know, stuff like that. And then AJ, you know, he's a much more grizzled veteran. Logan, young up and comer. Like, it should be a good back and forth, entertaining match. You know, you get two high flyers in there.
Wasn't. Logan hit a bunch of moves and was posing. Move, pose. Move, laugh. Move this, move that. The only time where I felt like AJ got his get back was when Logan Paul stole his move, the Styles Clash, hit it, and then AJ, once he hit it, AJ got right back up and hit him with it as well, and they were both on the ground. That's it. But that's my thing, is that was the only time where I felt like he got his get back. The whole time, it felt like it was AJ Styles' off day, always having a bad day. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
That whole time, I was thinking, it's like, why is Logan Paul like winning convincingly here? Like ridiculously convincingly. And then I'm hearing in the fucking commentary desk, Michael Cole and Pat McAfee talk about how mediocre people love to blame people that are better than them and all this nonsense. When all I'm thinking about is like, the people that are complaining about Logan Paul being at the top that are within your company are the people who have been in line for the longest time, who are capable, who are ready to go. And yet their spot got taken by some influencer.
Like Karrion Kross.
Karrion Kross made a really good point on that podcast. And I can tell that shit was real. You want to know how I knew at least half of it was real? It's when he mentioned how he would come up with great ideas and creative would say, let's tone it down. Those kinds of ideas are only meant for the big guys. That's when I knew immediately that, okay, some of this is real, because his wife went over and put her hand on his shoulder as if to say, calm down. There's a genuine fucking problem with the fact that AJ Styles is being dominated. I don't mind Logan Paul going over. He doesn't even need to cheat. But it should be something where it's a good back and forth. This match, he got dominated the entire time. Logan Paul's hitting poses like it's effortless and is making AJ Styles look like a dying veteran on his way out. When just a few matches ago, he was having fucking bangers with people in their prime. They're going to try to steer it towards the AJ's out the door direction now. But that wasn't the plan, and you know damn well it wasn't. You did it because you knew, what's the word, in terms of business, you gotta have him look good and whatever. But why have him dominate? That's what perplexes me. Why have him dominate? It wasn't even that good a match because he just dominated. It makes no sense. So I don't know. Maybe there's a bigger picture here. Maybe there's some personal issues with AJ. I don't know what it is. What I do know is Logan Paul doesn't deserve to be at that level. He just doesn't. To where he's defeating AJ like that. I think he should be going for the United States whatever. I think he should be going up against these cool matches, these fun gimmick matches. I'd love to see it. And eventually, as time goes on and he develops, maybe he could go and actually like have a meaningful title run. But just like how his United States run was pointless, this match was pointless. All it did was run rugshot over traditional wrestling. That's it. How are you going to put AJ Styles down like this? Imagine if this was Cody. Where would the company be right now?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if this was Randy Orton. How angry would people be? Imagine if this was an up-and-comer like a Braun Breaker or a Penta. But y'all disrespect one of the greats of wrestling in general, not just WWE, in general, by making him get bait. It wasn't squash, but it was the closest you can get to it. I find that ridiculous. Especially when you guys have been doing so fucking good. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. I really don't. So, that's all I have for you. Ridiculous. All good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Anything you want to bounce off or disagree with? It's fine.
No, because I didn't watch the match. I skipped that one. Although I will say,